Your standards are everything, right? So if your standards are all the way up here, no, let's put it right here. Say your standards are really high and your standards are right here, and most days you're up here, right? But on this day, you're lacking consistency, you're lacking discipline, you're lacking grit, you're lacking mental toughness, right? You're gonna fall to your standards, which are right here. Now, if your standards are all the way down here and you're all the way up here, you drop right here compared to if your standards are here and you're already up here. You get what I'm saying? So you want to raise your standards as high as possible. What I came to realize is the higher you raise your standards, the harder you push yourself. The harder you go, the more discipline you have, the more consistent you will be because you want to reach your high standards. The more mental toughness you'll have because you want to reach your high standards, right? The more consistency you'll have because you want to reach your high standards. Now, everything stems down to consistency. Why do I say this? Well, you have to look at it like this. Consistency compounds. Here's a, amazing example of this. Let's see. Imagine you're on a high school basketball team, right? But your team is really good and y'all go to the state championship. Y'all go to the state championship every year. That doesn't happen by accident. That happens by the coach making y'all come to practice every single day, on the weekends, doing extra lifts, doing extra workouts, right? So you got to think throughout the season, you have a game here, a game here, a game here. In between the games, you're running, you're lifting, you're getting better at basketball, you're going to practices. But you got to remember, there's a game here, a game here, a game here, a game here, all throughout the year, right? So in between the games, you're putting in the work no one else sees so that you can become a state champion, right? And in between the games, the consistency is compounding, right? So your team is getting better and better. Y'all chemistry is getting better and better so that once that final game comes up, that you need to win to get into the state championship or to get into the conference finals. I forgot how like basketball works when it comes to, dang, I used to be in love with basketball too. That's crazy. But I forgot how basketball works when it comes to, going up the game, especially in high school, But anyways, you're working your way towards that game, the big game of the year, but no one's seen the little work team was putting in, right? No one's seen the little work the team was putting in. But you guys will see it because you're going to make it to the championship. You're going to make it to the conference finals. Why? Consistency compounds. All right, think about it. Here, practice, boom, practice, game, practice. Right? Now though, there's some kids who will, skip some of the workouts, not take it that serious, not run their best, not lift their best, not eat healthy outside of the court, do drugs outside of the basketball, drink, smoke, go to hella parties, just distracted. But there's always the couple kids who are locked in. And most of the time they're on the starting line. Well, there's some degenerates on the starting lineup, but because I remember when I was in high school and I was on my teams, even star players really went to parties and stuff. But yeah, there's at least one kid on that starting lineup who is locked in, like overly locked in. Like, for example, my middle school basketball team, there's a dude, I'm not gonna say his name. He's in the NBA right now. No, I'm lying. He's playing for Duke right now. So he was locked in. Like whenever we had gym class, well, I remember we used to follow each other on Instagram, right? And I think it was Snapchat. Dang, I don't know. This was a long time ago, but we had each other added on something, and I was in some type of his close friends or something. And I remember, bro, he literally posted a video of him working out at 4 a.m. And we were kids back then. My mindset wasn't developed, so I couldn't conceptualize why he would go out at 4 a.m. to play basketball. Like, I wanted to go to the NBA too, but it just didn't make sense to me. I was like, this dude's a hard worker, but why is he working out at 4 a.m.? It's kind of weird. But looking back on it, it's like, bro's a dog, right? So he used to post those stories consistent every weekend, 4 a.m. workout. Remind you, this dude already had the genetic advantage and he was working harder than everyone else. It was inevitable. He's going to the league for sure, but it was inevitable. All it comes down to is how high are your standards and how hard are you willing to push yourself. See, even though we were little kids, his standards were up here, right? And because his standards were up here, that took him to the top level of basketball. Right, that took him to D1 college at I don't know if Duke's Ivy League school, but at an amazing school. You get what I'm saying? So everything stems down to your standards, right? If your car is not clean, your standards are low, right? If you're not getting haircuts on time, your standards are low. I low-key sound like a hypocrite right now. I just got a haircut though. My hair grows fast, but if your room's dirty, standards are low. If you're fat, your standards are low, obviously, unless you have some type of, genetic thing that runs in your family that you can't control, you being fat. If you're fat, it's your fault and you're lazy, right? You have no one else to blame but yourself, because it all stems down to your standards, right? And people are gonna judge you based off your standards, right? Not that matters, but I mean, if your standards are higher, and you're gonna be judged anyways. Why not have high standards for yourself and for people to like you more, right? Mostly for yourself, obviously, but if people are gonna like you more because your standards are higher, I mean, why not? There's nothing but benefits when you have insanely high standards. I mean, you know, sometimes it's frustrating. Sometimes it's like, I don't feel like doing this today. Like, I'll be honest. I haven't smiled one time during this video. Maybe I should, but I do not feel like doing this shit, to be honest. But guess what? I got discipline. I'll be honest. I was supposed to make this video last night, but I procrastinated. Like, I finished everything on my checklist. This was the last thing to do on my Elite 5 framework. No, I didn't do it. I went to sleep like a little bitch. But I just told myself, in the morning, I'm going to make this video, right? And now I'm here making this video, and I still don't feel like doing this, right? So it all comes down to how high are your standards, right? So like my standards are really high, right? And I procrastinated last night, and I didn't want to make the video. But I said, in the morning, I'm going to make this video. So what I do, woke up at 6:15 a.m. I started recording a video, because I stick to everything I say I'm going to do, right? Now, procrastination, you can never fully eliminate procrastination. You're human, right? So sometimes you're going to procrastinate. Like, for instance, last night I procrastinated, but I forced myself to do it this morning. And now I'm getting it out the way. I'm getting it done, so I can inspire you guys, motivate you guys, build y'all's mindset, because I want to help every man in the world. Not every man. I just want to help as many people as possible, get in amazing shape and build an amazing mindset. That's what I'm going to do, right? So everything stems down to how high your standards are. Right? For instance, my standards are up here, right? So I've been learning how to build credit since 16. I've been reading books since 16. Started learning about taxes at 16. I'm 19 now, about to be 20 in March, right? What else? I instilled like some of my beliefs about mindset and things of that nature to my little brother, because, I'm seeing life before him in a way. So, I got to put it on him. I got to put him on, you know what I mean? I got to tell him about my mistakes. I got to tell him about my high standards, so his standards are up here as well. What else? But yeah, I'll be honest, guys. This is just, it's just a little short video. I just want, what I really want y'all to take from this is raise your standards, bro. Stop being lazy. Don't keep your standards down here. Bring them up here. The higher your standards are, the easier it is for you to hit the moon. Get what I'm saying? The lower your standards are, the easier it is for you to hit the ground, right? So raise your standards so you can hit the moon. If your standards are down here, you'll hit the ground, all right? That's what I want you guys to take from this video. And next video soon, my next video will be, upper body day. So y'all stay tuned for that.